Hi, this is Alexandra from HopKidz, and my guests here today are Emma and Adele from Vancouver Nanny Network. They are organizers of Nanny Jamboree, a conference for professional development for nannies. Adele has created an online community 5 years ago, the Vancouver Nanny Network, so local nannies can share and support each other. And Emma is a professional nanny who was inspired by this year's Nanny Jamboree event, and now she's on board in organizing the next year's event. Welcome Emma, welcome Adele. Emma, Adele, you are both professional nannies, so tell us a little bit about your experience.
Well, I've been working in the childcare industry on and off for the better part of 10 years. I have worked as an au pair, I've worked as a camp counselor in the States. I have also worked as a nanny in the UK, and for the last 5 years I've been working in Vancouver as a nanny, both on call and for full-time families.
Are you enjoying what you do?
I love what I do. I love watching children. I love interacting with them. The best part of my day is seeing the new challenges and the new things that children learn.
Wonderful. What about you, Emma? What's your experience with?
I have been in the nanny industry for 6 years. I have been working doing on-call and full-time roles. I have most recently been working with a very cute toddler and I've been enjoying it very much.
Yeah, what is your favorite part of being a nanny?
I just enjoy watching them learn and achieve their milestones, and I really love the love and affection that little ones give you.
Why did you start Vancouver Nanny Network?
When I started working as a nanny 5 years ago, I was very surprised to see that there was no support network or community for nannies in the industry. So I decided to create this online support group for nannies to come together, support and encourage each other within the community. It started 5 years ago. I started off very small, just the friends that I knew within the industry to begin with, and it's growing and it's continuing to grow. I think we have 660 members right now.
Wow. So do you have a Facebook group? How do you manage that?
It's a very niche market, as the group is strictly for nannies only. So the way we manage it is we have a Facebook group that nannies can join. We have a set of guidelines that nannies must follow within the group so that we ensure that we can have as much privacy as possible. Anyone who works in the caregiver field is welcome to join the group for support.
So what are people using the group for?
So many nannies use the group to seek advice, to create support networks, and also to set up play dates and sometimes social events as well. Yes, many people were asking and wondering whether they could seek professional development, and this is where the idea for Nanny Jamboree came around. Nanny Jamboree provides an introduction to many professional development options for nannies, EC being one of them. It's really to inspire nannies to pursue the avenue that really interests them.
It's also great for empowerment with nannies, getting nannies together, giving them the chance to talk about issues they're having with their families, give them a chance to empower, encourage, and support each other within the industry.
So what are some of the topics that Nanny Jamboree is addressing?
We've had topics from contracts to how to interview. We've also had topics on the benefit of having your ACE as a nanny. We've had communication with parents.
So our workshops specifically target nannies because there are no courses that are designed specifically for nannies. So it's really to provide that introduction and to fulfill that need within the community.
Yeah, there are some resources out there for childcare workers, but none that is specifically targeted in the nanny industry. We do offer a certificate at the completion of Nanny Jamboree so that you can add that to your nanny portfolio and show prospective employers that you are dedicated and committed as a nanny.
Although it doesn't serve as an alternative to these accredited programs offered, it really is just to empower and inspire nannies to pursue these other skills that they can bring to their career, and it just shows that they're really dedicated to the industry.
One of the workshops that we do have at the conference is a Q&A or an open discussion where nannies bring their questions and concerns, anything that they are wishing to discuss within the industry. And quite often the one that pops up is always the wage and how much should you earn as a nanny. And that's very, very broad.
Difficult conversation.
It's a very challenging and difficult conversation because there's so many variables that play a part in the role.
Yeah.
And
Because
wage that you're going to be getting.
it's very hard to set an industry standard for wage because the situation of a family is very different. So each nanny role is very different, even though you have, I guess, there might be a standard of the daily tasks you complete, but family setups are different. So it's very challenging, and I have noticed that agencies are setting pay scales on their job ads, and they are, I guess, trying to put some industry standards on it. This allows a family to pay a nanny a specific wage based on their experience, their education, and the skill set they can really bring to their job.
I'm a parent myself, and I do have a 2-year-old, and I do sometimes need an occasional babysitter. But when I look online, the wages that I see are between $10 an hour and $30 an hour. So that's a big difference.
There are more qualified and more experienced nannies out there that can charge a higher rate. If you have your ACE, if you have a certain year of experience, you can charge a higher wage, as opposed to if you're just starting out and you have basic experience and education.
It is very hard for a parent to make the decision when we understand it's hard living in Vancouver and the cost of living and trying to provide for a family. We understand when they're presented with those lower cost options, it's tempting. They want to provide for their family and meet those needs financially.
Yes, but what do you think about those caregivers out there who are setting the wage below the minimum wage?
I think it's challenging for those nannies that are more experienced and more educated, because it does start to set a lower bar for the more experienced and more qualified nannies out there. So whilst someone might charge $14 an hour, if they're less experienced, then I find sometimes parents are asking more qualified and more experienced nannies to lower their rate. I think those that are more qualified and experienced are entitled to charge a higher wage as a nanny because they have the experience and they can provide a certain quality of care that you might not necessarily get from someone that has no experience or no qualifications. If you want to hire a teenage babysitter, you can't necessarily expect them to know what to do in an emergency. You can expect them to have a level of curriculum planning for the child that develops their social, emotional, and physical well-being. It's the same level that a more qualified and experienced nanny is going to be able to provide.
So what is the fair wage?
So we completed a brief survey on the Vancouver Nanny Network just to get an overview of what general income levels are. Again, it's just a very brief, nothing scientific about it. Based on the findings from our survey, we found that 70% of nannies did feel that they were paid fairly, and the ones that did answer that were in the 18 to 22 hour pay range. Now, it is interesting to find that many of them did have ECE qualifications, higher education, teaching, and also some medical experience as well. So these are all things that can contribute to a higher income.
The minimum for being a nanny is basically having a first aid, CPR certification, a criminal background check, and some babysitting experience.
Yeah. But do nanny carry insurance?
No, the family provides the insurance. As you're employed as an employee by the family, they are required to register with WorkSafe BC.
Okay, so this is one of the important things for families to know. Do you have any other advice for families when they're choosing their nanny?
Pay them fairly. Pay them fairly, treat them well. I think it's important to offer your nanny a contract, to have open communication, and to offer guaranteed hours to your nanny. I know one of the big topics this year during our open discussion was talking about guaranteed hours within the industry, and many nannies weren't getting that. So it was quite surprising to see that they'd learned that and hopefully they'd taken that back to their families.
What is your view on a nanny taking on a vacation, and does the family have to pay for it?
Yeah, as per BC employment standards, nannies are entitled to 2 weeks paid vacation. I know some families take more than that, and that's where it's good to talk to your employer and figure out whether you're going to be getting guaranteed hours while they're away.
Yes, because I've heard stories when the family is going on vacation, they can actually tell the nanny, hey, you're taking vacation at the same time. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it depends on the family and the nanny. I think it depends on your level of communication with them and how You negotiate that into your contract. I think it's fair if you want to say, negotiate, you get to choose 1 week and you can choose 1 week, depending on when the family takes vacation, or often the family will just let you choose the 2 weeks that you wish to take. It all depends on the circumstances of the family. There are families that have certain different needs, so it can vary.
Would it be beneficial for a nanny to put that on her resume, that she is a part of Vancouver Nanny Network?
I think that can absolutely be beneficial to show that they have that level of support. I know my family are very supportive of me creating play dates and having that level of support for my day. I'm working with a 10-month-old right now, and it's nice to have another adult around, so they appreciate that.
And it creates socialization for the child as well. They don't want to just be with their nanny all day. They want to play dates, like run in the park with other children. So it's creating that social community as well. So in my career as a nanny, I was starting to feel isolated and was really trying to seek out these networks and these groups to fulfill that need. And that's when I discovered the Vancouver Nanny Network and also the Nanny Jamboree. I attended the conference, the 2018 conference, and was really inspired by the work Adele and Jennifer were doing. And I approached Adele at the end of the conference and decided to join the team and help her organise for 2019. And we're really excited about the things that we're doing and the direction that we're pursuing.
We are very excited. We had a lot of positive feedback this year from the Jamboree. Everyone that attended said that they enjoyed it and that they managed to get something out of the conference, which we're very happy with.
Is there an industry professional or a celebrity within the childcare industry who you would love to bring into your conference to give a workshop?
Personally, I would love to have Tanya from Newborn Care Solutions come to the conference and host a workshop this year. I'm actually taking one of her online courses right now and absolutely loving it. She's very passionate and very well educated on newborn care, and I am very excited to learn more.
Tanya, you are very much invited this year to give a workshop at Nanny Jamboree. So what's your favorite part in doing the Nanny Jamboree?
My favorite part is bringing nannies together and seeing everyone make new friends.
Yeah.
I just love that. I love seeing nannies network with each other. If we just reach out to one new nanny every year, we consider that a big success, because the nanny industry in Vancouver is pretty big as it is, and we find that not a lot of nannies are getting the social or the support that they need here. And the Jamboree brings a lot of education about what's happening within the industry.
Yeah, so for any nanny or a caregiver watching out there, how can they find Vancouver Nanny Network and what are the benefits of joining?
They can find us on Facebook by searching Vancouver Nanny Network. We are a group as well as a Facebook page. The group is a private forum dedicated for nannies, so just send a request, answer the 3 questions, and our community coordinated Tia will approve your request. The benefits are support, having coworkers, having someone to talk to who understands your role, how mentally, physically, and emotionally challenging some days can be, and also how rewarding so many of our days can be.
So the Nanny Jamboree, this is going to be your 4th event in 2019. So tell us a little bit more, the dates, the registration.
Yeah, so it's going to be our 4th annual conference, and we are so excited to bring this to you again this year. It is on April 6th and 7th, 2019 at Library Square Conference Center at the downtown Vancouver Public Library. Registration will be open beginning of December, and you can find out how to register on our website, nannyjamboree.com.
So what's your vision for Nanny Jamboree?
Our vision is to have as many nannies as we can within the community attend and feel empowered and inspired by the conference. We would love to take it over to Toronto and to other big cities across Canada. We have had a few Toronto nannies actually reach out to us and ask us when it's coming over there. So we'll have to get back to you on that one, but hopefully soon.
Ladies, thank you very much for joining me today and having this wonderful conversation on nanny professional development and Nanny Network. We at HopKidz are very serious in supporting caregivers for the benefit of our children and our families. Thank you again.